So we're going to go through how to do your personal mantra project. So a mantra is a positive phrase that you can chant in a way so that it's something that you can just repeat when you feel you need it. Um, and I want you guys to kind of start on that foot this year, and that you're going to have something that's sort of like your positive affirmation that when you're not sure what's going on, or if it's just too much, like you kind of have this to fall back on. So, um, some things that you could search when trying to find one that you like um, are mantras. You could look for quotes. I had looked up quotes personally by John Green. If anyone's read his books, they're awesome. And I had looked at Harry Potter quotes because there's some really good ones there also. So, um, quote you would like. Another thing you can just look at is positive affirmations. That's sort of the idea of giving yourself a pep talk of, you know, what you can accomplish. Okay, and then the last one, simplest, is an I am statement. So I am whatever. So you choose your mantra and then you're going to design it. I'm going to go through some tips on the design part of it in just a second, but I wanted to share with you my finished one. This did not take me very long. I will go through about lettering um, in a second to explain some more about how to lay things out to where they're even. But I wanted to share with you first that I am ready. So this school year is starting very crazily. There's been so many questions about how everything's going to work or not work. Um, Even this picture itself kind of reflects that because um, I had some random crowns on my desk to color with. Um, I'm doing this at West Campus, which is not an art room at this point. It doesn't have a lot in here, but um, so I had a weird color green that went underneath the blue, and then in case you didn't know, you can always go back in and scratch the crown back off and change it a little bit. So a couple layers of color up here, but it ended up being a nice like bluish green watercolor. And then just white letters with a black Sharpie, and the background was a mistake in a way, or it started as a mistake because these blue marks were smearing off of my pencil. I don't know how it happened, but they just sort of accidentally happened right there. Um, so this is what we ended up with, and it works for the statement of I'm ready for this school year. So I'm ready for it. Let's just do it. Um, so this is mine. I'm going to go through 3 tips to help you out when you're making things like that. Um, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the no room scenario, or like I call the failed happy birthday card scenario. So, to avoid this, let's say you're making a birthday card for somebody, you write the word happy, looks great, then you're writing birthday, you're getting really excited, you get down to the, and then like you have to like squeeze that Y in, or you write so big that you have to hyphenate and Y gets put at the end by itself. Something weird always happens when you're trying to write large, especially on a birthday card, it seems like. Um, so a tip for when you're making a poster, birthday card, any other thing where you might use lettering is to, on a scrap piece of paper or below the design or above the design, write out what it will end up saying. Let me move this other paper out from underneath so we're not getting double images for you. So it's going to say happy birthday. P is the middle of happy. So I'm going to put P in the middle of the card. Then I'll go backwards with an A, H, and then the other direction with a P and a Y. Okay. Then I'll come down here. There, it's even letters, 8 letters in the word birthday. So you're going to have TH in the middle. Okay, and then you can finish the word, backtrack with the R, the I, and the B till you get birthday. Okay, so it works out so that you have an even design on that one. So that's the birthday scenario. So that way you avoid this where you don't have enough space when you have plenty of space in your design. All right, the next one is how to go from just the letters to a shape, whether it's bubble or block letters. Also, there's an easier trick for this. So first, lightly in pencil. It's kind of hard to see. I just have a free pencil that somebody donated with a decent eraser here. So first I'll do bubble. So I like bubble letters to be rounded, which if you look at your lowercase alphabet letters, you're going to get a more rounded letter with them than you will with the capital versions. So I'm going to come down where there's a line or an ending and make a U. And then continue around, curve the ending. And sometimes you can do bubbles. Some people call them balloon letters because it could look like a twisty balloon. Okay, then you erase out that God letter that was in the middle, and you have a nice curved letter. So if it's something that has a completed circle, or you'll have to go in and put one in the center and then one on the outside. And a U around the bottom of that. Then I'm going to bubble that up. Erase the middle God area, so the original letter. Same for the M. A U around the straight line, bump, follow that bump. A U around this one, curve right back around. A U around that one, curve back down. A U, then connect. Use my wiggle on my pencil there. Erase the center. So is it starting to make sense? Go around this point part, curve all the way around the letter E, curve back, connect. Then you'll have a little bitty in the middle, depending on how large you draw. Okay, so we have basic bubble letters. I spaced mine apart really far so that they wouldn't look like they were on top of each other. A lot of people, when they're writing these on purpose, they will make them cluster together so that they look like they're more balloonish. So once you have an example set, you can go back and try to freehand it, or you can just color over the existing one. So if you want to do it in all caps, you kind of wing it from the top one. Okay, so now block letters. We'll go back. We have all caps right here. So I'm going to draw a straight line on the outside. Just follow these letters around. Basically, you're just tracing it on the outside so that it creates a shape around the original letter. Then when you erase the original, you get a block letter. Okay, you'll have to excuse my fingernails. I've been painting my classroom wall back there. I'll show you guys in a second. But so went around the outside. I can go back and erase the center letter. This takes a little bit of practice, but it's a great way to start if you have absolutely no idea how to make something block letters. Now that said, your positive affirmation does not have to be block letters or bubble letters. You could take it a simpler route. You could do script, write in cursive, write your letters, and then just color designs around it, however you want to do that. These are just some tips on how you can start to improve your lettering for things like posters or cards, whatever you want to use it for. Okay, so that's a basic way of doing it. You can still kind of see the ghost letters in there from where I erased. So you see how we went from the lines to an actual shape letter. Okay, so that was the second thing. We've already covered birthday card scenario, how to make something not simple shape letters, or how to make something go from simple into shape letters. Okay, the last thing, and I'm kind of going backwards from where a person would normally go, is just composition. So when you get a sheet of paper, Okay, a blank sheet of paper here. You see the dimensions, you know how much space you have. If you were making something else, like you're folding a card to make a greeting card, you know how big it's going to be. So you have to kind of decide what your composition is. So if you know you're going to have all these words on this piece of paper, you need to kind of block it out and decide your design. Do you want it to take up literally every bit of the space? Like, you want it to be so big that there's no room for text, any other text, or any photos? Like, you just want it to be huge? Or do you want it to take up part of the space because you're also going to include pictures? Okay, this is called composition. So when you're designing something, you're looking at the composition of it. So if you know you have a really long quote, you're going to want to plan ahead. You'll have to look at the composition and decide if it needs to go horizontal, vertical, if it needs to have so many words in the top half, so many words in the bottom half. Decide and plan what you're going to put in it. So the other quote, which I don't know if I have on the sticky notes still, that I was going to plan was, today is a good day to have a good day. So I'm not going to do bubble letters on this one. I'm going to keep it a little simpler. So I'll have to decide. I'm going to put today is a, and then I'll change this to be all caps. Today is a good day to have a good day. So this worked out so that I have plenty of space. But however, if I had went in sideways and tried to do that same thing, I'd probably run out of space. If I tried to do it with much larger letters, I'd run out of space. Or if I went in and tried to make it smaller letters, like today is a good day to have a good day. Now, if this is it, what is, like, how is this interesting? Look at all this extra space I have here now. Like, there's nothing going on down here. Maybe if you were going to add a picture, like you were going to draw a cat down there, the cat was having a good day. Maybe that would make it a little more interesting. You have to plan that. You have to decide with your composition what all is going to fit in it. Okay, so 3 basic tips. You have planning your composition out, transferring simple letters into shape letters, and then you have, no room, the happy birthday card scenario, where you have to plan ahead your letter spacing. Okay, hopefully this helps so that you can get your mantra ready for this class. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. Thanks, guys.